In today's video, we'll be covering the full legend of the windpipe-eating weather girl herself, Zombie Storm. No, not even our girl Aurora Monroe was able to outfly the deadly alien virus that turned her and the other superpowered beings of this dimension into not-so-brainless undead zombies. Her story is sadly quite brief, but still a sweet time while it lasts, so without further ado, grab a Coke, sit back, relax, and enjoy the full gory story of Zombie Storm. Who is she? Zombie Storm, like most of the heroes and villains of this earth, was infected with a mysterious disease that turned them into flesh-eating monsters. She made her first appearance in the pages of Ultimate Fantastic Four number 23 back in 2005. She comes from Earth 2149, but her storm and origins pre-infection were very similar to her main universe counterpart from Earth 616. Of course, this all changed one god-awful day when a zombie version of the Sentry came to the planet and ripped through the Avengers, infecting them with the undead virus. The zombified heroes turned almost immediately and began devouring every New York resident in sight while infecting any hero that tried to stop them. Things would quickly spread from Manhattan to Westchester as we see Storm and the X-Men battling an infected Alpha Flight on the grounds of Professor X's school. A completely shocked Storm verbally expressed her disbelief at the situation as she exclaims that the zombies had ripped poor Professor X to pieces. Man, poor dude, from X-Men 3 to Logan to Doctor Strange, and now this? Poor Professor X is basically the Kenny of the Marvel Universe at this point. Just as it seemed Storm and the rest would be overrun by the undead, they soon witnessed metal shrapnel tear through the heads of their attackers. This assault, of course, came from our boy Magneto, who arrived to the scene just in the nick of time. He told the heroes that this was no longer the time to hold back, and that they would have to ally forces and would have to kill to survive and save who was left. Reluctantly agreeing on this union, Storm joined Magneto and her fellow mutant brethren as they took the fight to the zombies to save who they could. Eventually, she, the X-Men, and the remaining non-infected heroes then joined Nick Fury aboard the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier as they planned on how to combat this threat. The brilliant minds of Reed Richards and Tony Stark were charged with finding scientific solutions to things, while Storm and the rest were sent to the streets to combat the zombies and rescue survivors. Things would quickly get out of hand though, as heroes like Wolverine were eventually infected, causing Storm and the rest to retreat back to the helicarrier. However, there would not be too much safety to retreat to though, as Reed Richards had went completely insane after witnessing his children get killed by a zombified She-Hulk. This trauma then made him think that the virus was the next step in evolution, where he proceeded to infect his fellow Fantastic Four members with the virus, who in turn infected him. They then tore through the facility and set their sights on Tony Stark's portal that he had built that would allow them to visit other worlds. As they infected poor Tony, a quick-acting Nick Fury grabbed the portal, which just so conveniently had wheels on it, and pushed it to the back of the helicarrier and sealed off the doors, where he was met by Storm and the rest, who had come back from the battle before. Knowing that their world was at its end, Fury had Thor use his power to destroy the portal to keep other multiverses safe from the zombie threat. Upon doing so, Reed and the other zombies ripped their way through the door, where they killed Fury and infected Storm and the remaining heroes. Later on, Zombie Storm and the rest would come to Storm, Dr. Doom's castle, after they found out he was harboring survivors there. She and the other zombie X-Men, along with Reed Richards, were some of the first to break through the castle walls and would proceed to infect Victor. Evil Dead's Ash Williams was also here at this time and used this distraction to use the Necronomicon to summon a Deadite army that went to war with Storm and the rest. While the Deadites did not stand much of a chance, it gave Doom, who was still somewhat in control, just enough time to get the humans through a portal that he and his scientists had created. Once everyone got through, Doom destroyed the device, leaving Storm and the others to starve. After eating nearly everyone on the planet, Poor Zombie Storm and the rest thought they would go hungry forever, until they were met by the Silver Surfer, who showed up to announce the impending arrival of his master Galactus. Licking their rotted lips at the sight of this shiny space guy, Storm and the rest attacked before he could even finish his monologue. Not cool, guys. You gotta let these things play out. That's just rude. The Surfer proved to pack quite a punch though, as he blasted away at Storm and the others with his powerful cosmic blast. However, strong as he was, the Undead's numbers proved to be too great, as he was soon overpowered and devoured by Hulk and a select group of other heroes. Those who got to dine on the dude's sparkly flesh realized they had got his powers, and then used them to throw probably the nastiest cookout ever, where they roasted and ate Storm and the other zombies in the surrounding area. After this act of zombie-on-zombie violence, the cosmic-powered undead would go throughout space, consuming every planet and person they could get their greasy hands on. Eventually, they would come across the Skrull homeworld, where they would help themselves to a tasty green Skrull buffet. It just so happened during this time that the main universe 616 Storm, along with her husband Black Panther, and several other members of the Fantastic Four, just so happened to be mistakenly teleported to this dimension after messing around with some magic frogs. Don't ask me how it works though. These are magical dimensional frogs. What more do you want? Storm and the heroes would battle against the undead, and would even come face to face with the Black Panther of this Earth, who had survived and was reconstructing a new Wakanda in the middle of New York. After being forced to kill a team of zombified Super Skrulls, Storm and the rest managed to tap into the frog's power and escaped back to their world before they could be infected by the Cosmic Avengers. And that is the full gory story of Zombie Storm. Her involvement was not that important, which is a darn shame given the extent of her power. It would have been cool if a potential cure was discovered on this Earth and Storm was able to somehow channel it into the weather and cause it to rain down on the Horde and cure them en masse. Heck, it would even be cool if they played around with her vampire counterpart Bloodstorm and made her immune to the virus, and in turn transformed any non-infected hero and human into vampires to create a whole vampire versus zombie army. I know that sounds ridiculous, which is probably why I'm not the one being hired to write these things. I should probably just stick to my lame YouTube fanfiction, folks. While we saw Halle Berry return as the iconic character in X-Men Days of Future Past, we have most recently seen her portrayed by Alexandra Shipp. While mutants still kind of aren't in the MCU just yet, I would certainly like to see Storm's character in an upcoming season of the Marvel Zombies TV show. More than anything, I want to hear what you think. Did you know this about Zombie Storm? Is there something I missed? What other characters or stories would you like to see us cover? Sound off in the comments. Also be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed today's content, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon to be notified of all of our latest videos. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the music in this video, it was all made by my boy Ognihs. You can check out his Spotify in the link below. You can also check out our Patreon, also in the link below. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you are awesome and loved. God bless, and I will see you in the next one.